murder, cannibalism, castration, incest, eggs, full frontal female and male nudity. Today, we're going to talk about pink flamingos. Alright, let's get started. Primer. Right now I'm using the Tatcha. It's the silk canvas. It's great. It's a great product, but like I wouldn't recommend buying it unless you have like a bunch of extra money to spare. I got this as part of like a gift set that like a friend gave to me for Christmas. Bless. But yeah, I think like the full product is like $60 or something, and I think Elf, I'm pretty sure, makes a pretty good dupe for like less than half the price. So same as usual, TV paint stick, Krylon. I will say I do love this movie for reasons I will explain at the end of this. Despite all the things that I'm going to describe to you that are happening, I think this movie's really important, and it meant a lot to me when I first saw it as a teenager. Oh, so yes, I have seen it before. I was like 15, and so I went to go watch it again, and I was like, oh, well, it can't be as like extreme as I remember. And yeah, like, so this movie was made in 1972, and some of the things in here are still like, this played on like movie screens, y'all. Like I've seen hardcore pornography that I would find far less offensive than some of the scenes in this movie. But I love John Waters. He is one of my creative inspirations. Has been since I was probably like 14, 15, something like that. Yeah, let's get into it, right? I guess I'll start by putting some makeup on my face. So this movie was made in 1972, as I said, directed by John Waters. I don't think it was his first. It was his first full feature, sort of the movie that at the very least, put him on the map, as it were. Starring Divine, plays themselves / Babs Johnson, an alias they go by in the film. So essentially, the plot of the film is that Divine is quote unquote the filthiest person on earth. Tabloids have like put this all over the place. She's the most disgusting person that's ever lived. You know, the media lives for it, which is a whole other thing we'll get into later. Is currently living under an alias in a trailer, outside of which there's a couple of pink flamingos. She lives there with her mother, Edie, played by Edith Massey. We'll get into that character in a minute. Her son, Crackers. That's a whole other situation. And, like, just, I think sort of like a friend? Random person? I've watched the movie a few times now, and I still can't really tell. Her name is Cotton. And they all live in this trailer together. So they're the filthiest people on earth. The antagonists are Connie and Raymond Marbles, who also desire to be the filthiest people on earth and are super jealous that Divine is the filthiest person on earth and want to, take her down or whatever. So that is sort of the nexus of the conflict in this movie. Okay, so now that we've established the central plot, I suppose let's start to get into it. Yes, start with some highlight. This is Ben Nye white, clown white. I'm very pale. I'm Polish. What do you want? Like, what do you want? Woof. Alright, so let's see where to start. Her mother, Edie, who, lives sort of like, if you know those, like, adult baby fetish people, sort of lives like that, but it seems more like she's like developmentally disabled or something. It's really unclear what her deal is, but she is kind of like grimy and lives in essentially a wooden playpen and just like wants to eat eggs all the time and is obsessed when the Eggman is coming. And and eventually like wants to like sleep with and like marry and all sorts of, that's a whole other thing we'll get into a little bit later. That is Divine / Bab Johnson's mother. Crackers, the son, seems to be an adult, also doesn't seem to have all his stuff together. Oh yeah, so there's a whole running theme going on in this movie that I find very interesting. That is like Divine, despite the fact that like, or maybe frankly actually I think because of the fact that she is the filthiest, person that ever lived. It is super gross. Like if there's this running thing that like, oh, if you know Divine, you can get a job anywhere you want, or like the media like loves Divine, even though like she's like clearly committing all sorts of crimes all over the place. Okay, so then we head over to the Marbles house. Yes. Basically, it's Connie and Raymond Marbles. They are the villains. They are apparently running a black market baby ring. They have women imprisoned in the basement that their lackey Channing rapes and impregnates. And as they give birth to the babies, then they sell them to lesbian couples. Whew. They use the proceeds to finance all the pornography shops in a local the local heroin dealer ring. Whew. Whew. Yeah. So we get introduced to this topic because one of the girls has died in childbirth. And they're like, what are we gonna do? And they basically, I guess, kidnap a hitchhiker eventually. And they're like chained up in the, this is just the beginning, y'all. Strap in. If this is too much for you, you might want to bail out now. Oh, there's a lot of like small little details that I find very interesting in this movie. For instance, like I forget if it was on the wall or the fridge or whatever, but like as a big part of the Marbles kitchen or house or something, there's a big free Tex Watson sticker. Fun fact, Tex Watson was the dude who was part of the whole Manson cult that led a lot of the killings, did a lot of the slaughtering. Was like, if you go up and read about him, he is let's say not a person who should be freed from any kind of prison. Yeah, I mean, obviously I think that was on purpose, but well, interesting thing also, so big fan of John Waters, obviously. He spoke at my college, and that had a big influence on me. I've read so much of what he's written, and he talks about a lot. So he has sort of a relationship with, I think, what's her name? Was it Leslie Van Houten, one of the Manson girls, and tries to actively campaign to, like, I think, help get her out. And for the girls, and I think especially for her, I can kind of see his side of it. I can kind of see her side of it too. Obviously, I'm not a victim of a Manson murder, so I don't know. Those people seem to feel differently. But yeah, I think it's really interesting. Because I think this movie predated their relationship, but I think that's I don't know, sort of an interesting thing that's happening there. Anyway, there's a lot of really like fun songs from like the 50s and stuff in here that are so the song I'm not a juvenile delinquent plays while Divine shoplifts meat from a grocery store and basically shoves it up her dress, and it looks sort of like a you know, big floppy lady organ. Really not trying to get banned from YouTube. This is gonna be hard, difficult. This is gonna be difficult to talk about. Woo. And then we get like I don't know, I sort of love the sequence. The song, The Girl Can't Help It plays, and Divine just sort of like strutting around, walking around, looking like fabulous and like in the full drag, and then finds a spot and squats and just like takes a piss. 'Cause, you know, I suppose the girl can't help it, right? Oh, and this contour is the same Ben Nye hazelnut stuff that I've been using. So then we see a clip of Divine on the cover of like a newspaper or tabloid, filthiest person alive, and of course this sends Connie and Raymond into like a rage. They can't have this, right? They must be the filthiest people alive. So then we also get a flash of no pun intended, I guess one of the other ways this couple makes money, and Raymond essentially ties strange things to his shall we say male appendage, and goes up to random women in the park and other public places and flashes them, and as they get flustered and run away, he steals their purse and he takes for the money. Although there is one little sequence at the end where he's, and it looks like, what is it, like a octopus tentacle or something? Very strange. Where he flashes a lady. She flashes boobs, I think. He gets like excited, but then she flashes, apparently she also has a penis. And that apparently frightens Raymond away. Make of that what you will, I suppose. Alright, so the Marbles decide to enlist a spy, this woman named Cookie, to try to find out more information about Divine and, you know, ways I suppose they could undermine her. They send Connie to go on a date with Crackers, you know, Divine's son. And so if you are a person who has issues with animal cruelty, you might want to check out now. I mean, John Waters has responded to the scene and the alligator, and you know, we'll go into it slightly, but oh lord. So if you haven't seen it, I suppose I should at least tell you what's happening, right? Okay. Sorry. So apparently Cotton and Crackers have some sort of weird thing, like Cotton, who's this like, you know, conventionally attractive blonde girl, apparently can only get off on watching weird stuff happen. And I guess Crackers is happy to oblige. So what happens is when Cookie comes over for a date, Cookie and Crackers, haha, I guess, and they eventually start having sex. The whole time Crackers is going on about how much he loves chickens and how much he like needs the chickens with him. And so when they start having sex, they have 2 chickens that he sort of pulls into the mix, I should say, between their two bodies. One second here. Crackers is on top of Cookie. There are 2 chickens between them. The chickens get crushed throughout the course of their, shall we say, enthusiastic lovemaking. And the said chickens then cease to exist, and there's a lot of chicken blood between the 2 of them, while Crackers finishes his business. Ooh boy. Ooh. So John Waters spoke to, because there's obviously a bunch of people who are very upset about the, you know, how could you kill 2 chickens for the scene in the movie, and he was like, what are you talking about? Afterwards, we cleaned them off, and apparently they like cooked them and they fed them to the casting crew, and he was like, we bought them from a place that was selling fresh chickens to be eaten anyway, like that's what was gonna happen to them. If anything, these chickens had a few moments of stardom before they reached their inevitable fate, which I think is an interesting thought. I can't. I don't know if I would make the same choice in a movie I was making, but you know, I don't know. How do you feel about killing live chickens for a movie scene? You, you let me know. Yeah. But yeah, so obviously, I guess, well, maybe not obviously in this movie. Cookie is super grossed out, but goes along with it because she's trying to, like, be a spy or whatever, I guess, for these people. You know, at one point she's like, you don't even know what I had to go through to get this information. Or, girl. But through this, Cookie is able to learn that, Babs Johnson is actually Divine, where she is, where her family is, and that she has an upcoming birthday party. Which is all information she then reports back to the Marbles. Then at this point, the Marbles come to Divine's trailer to spy on her birthday party, where she receives a whole variety of lovely birthday gifts. Poppers, fake vomit, lice shampoo, a whole pig's head, a meat cleaver, and then there's some entertainment that I'm gonna do my best to describe and not get kicked off this platform. Oh, so this powder, by the way, sorry, I'm getting distracted by this movie. This is the Puff Puff Pass Kimchi Chic suntan. I love this powder. So there are two main acts at this birthday party. There is a lady stripper who, you know, dances and gets naked and has like a snake, and it's all actually pretty tame in comparison to the rest of the movie. But then after her is a gentleman who is wearing a thong, but not for long. Ooh, that rhymes. I don't think I can describe it without getting YouTube mad at me. I've grabbed some socks, and I think I can sort of, see if I can demonstrate. Give some sort of reasonable, facsimile while still being, you know, vague enough that, won't get me banned. Okay. So, okay. So, some like this, and this, and then it's like, oh. So yeah, then, moving on. Oh yes, one other thing I forgot. Right before the party, the Marbles send a. Alright, so this thing I'm using, this is the NYX, was it Super Fat Eye Marker? I use this thing a lot. I'm just using it to sort of, I'm trying to outline a thing. Sorry, I need concentration for this for a second. The Marbles sent Divine a little birthday gift saying happy birthday fatso, and I believe yes, it was a box with a human turd, or human feces, if you will, in there. Just, you know, fun. This is too big. And then they signed it, the filthiest people alive, and of course Divine gets incredibly angry that someone might possibly be stealing her title. The Marbles see the party, get enraged, decide to call the police. Oh, lewd and disorderly conduct. Well, you know, they're just trying to screw with Divine. Because they can't win filthiest fairly, obviously. Cheaters never prosper, I feel like, is one of the messages here. One of the less disturbing messages you can take away. Divine party are outside and they hear the cops coming, and everyone hides inside of the you know, of like the house or trailer or whatever they're nearby. It feels like it's gonna be like a little Benny Hill style thing, and it sort of is, except the police get there. They're like, what's going on? Everybody surprises them, and they are all holding various weapons. Divine holding the meat cleaver, I'm assuming she got for her birthday. Looks like the same one. and they hack the police to bits. Not only that, but afterwards feast on their flesh in a cannibalistic sort of, I guess, big birthday feast, if you will. Alright, and I'm just going to press, this is, what is it, the Blowing Smoke ColourPop palette. And I'm just going to grab some of the Young Love, which is the just like matte white, and sort of press into here. So they eat the police. After this, figuring that once they figure out that, you know, once they've, I guess, had their meal or whatever, they obviously figure out that the marbles are behind this. And so Divine, and I want to make clear, her son, Crackers, this will become important in a minute, head over to the marbles place and begin to like lick and drool all over every single bit of furniture or item. Oh yeah, they make a point of like licking their bed, saying that, oh yeah, make sure to lick all over where they touch their uninspired organs together. And then it gets more and more, shall I say, heated. And then Divine and Crackers become, and I want to reiterate, mother and son become so excited by them licking and drooling and, you know, otherwise masticating. Look it up. All of the things all over this place, that, oh boy. Well, it rhymes with Joe Blob, and a mother gives one to her son, and it's on camera, and it's very explicit and well lit and full frontal male nudity, and Divine is absolutely, or did this thing on camera. Oh boy. Whoo. So what is this? I've got, it's the Krylon Shimmery Vision. It's just sort of like a shimmer cream palette. I got it because it was on sale, but I'm gonna use it as sort of the back, and then I'm gonna press some more, I think, powder into it. Oh boy, where were we? Oh yes, that's right. Fortunately, this act gets interrupted as they hear something coming from the basement. Divine and her son basically discover their, you know, their sex prisoners or whatever in their baby ring. So yeah, the women ask to be freed, which they of course oblige. Oh, 1 second. Hard to talk up here. Alright, so for this I've got another ColourPop palette. This is Blue Moon. What is this? Starry Eyed. Ah! Is the one I'm going for to press in up here now. So yeah, so they free the girls. They tie up Chandler, who was their torturer slash rapist, all that sort of fun stuff. And they leave a big cleaver with the girls, and well, fortunately they don't show it on screen, but we hear about it. How shall I say? Like, they gave him a haircut, but they didn't cut off hair. Yeah, they cut off what you think they cut off. Meanwhile, while all this is happening, back at Divine's trailer, the marbles have found it out and are covering everything in gasoline and light it on fire just in time for Divine and her crew to come rolling up, sadly. You know, obviously she screams in distress. The marbles have now believed that they've won. However, when they get back to their place, apparently because Divine and Crackers have licked everything, the house basically rejects them. Like, furniture starts flopping all over the place. They try to sit on something, but it like kicks them out of the chair. It's actually kind of funny. It's the first sort of, I guess, bit of filth magic we see, which is kind of fun. Very like poltergeist situation. And then of course, you know, they get to the basement and discover that not only have the girls escaped, but Chandler, their prize breeding dude or whatever, has bled to death from his wound. Obviously, Divine is upset, angry, vows revenge, vows to kill the marbles for destroying her trailer, heads over to their place with her crew, and they bind and gag them up, bring them back to her trailer, and then call all the press outlets, because as she says, it's going to be the hottest news event ever, live homicide. And of course, every news outlet is eager to be the first one on the story. So, this big finale scene of the movie. Hold on, let me fill this in first. This is Morphe black primer I'm going to use to fill in on some of the black. I'm going to press a little black shadow on it. Sorry guys, I had to do this off camera. This is requiring too much concentration. Right. Oh, this is another NYX, just a super fine point pen. This, because I've got a bunch of powder in my eyes, I'm going to throw a little mascara on. This is, what is this? Dior Show Iconic. This is expensive, but you don't really need to use it. There you go. I really like it because of I really like the bristle brush on it. But anyway, so they're having this kangaroo court, essentially. Divine gives a big speech about filth is her politics, filth is her life, first-degree murder on television. All the tabloids are there, very excited to see it. You know, like, it's a court, but, like, they have no chance, the marbles have no chance to defend themselves. They're bound and gagged the whole time. It ends with them getting tarred and feathered and then shot in the head by Divine. Now, for those of you who are familiar with this movie, for the scene where Divine, shall I say, eats some, a different kind of dog treat, you all have to wait till the very end, because I had forgotten about this because it's been so long, but there's this, like, weird little vignette at the end where John Waters is doing a narration. It's like, not only is she the filthiest character, but she's really the filthiest actress. And it shows, we see a dog, and it, like, so there's no mistaking that, like, there's no camera checks or anything. We see the dog defecate, and there's no cuts or anything, and we see Divine pick it up and eat the whole thing, and definitely struggles to keep it down, but does seem to eat most of it. So, but yeah, so then afterwards, they decide that they need to, you know, there's too much press around them, and it's not so much, it doesn't seem like they're gonna get arrested or ever get in trouble, but just that, like, oh, there's too much press, or I'm not exactly sure. It doesn't seem like there's any sort of enforcement of any sorts of laws around here. Anyway, they decided to move to Boise, Idaho, and that's sort of where the story ends. And then we get that little vignette with the dog poop. Well, I will say there's a lot of great lines from this movie. There's a right and there's a wrong, and I've never been wrong. Yeah, like all of the speeches about, like, advocate cannibalism. Alright, we're doing a little contour. It was kimchi cheek. This might be a bronzer. I don't know. But we're doing oh, actually, ooh. We are gonna use it. We're gonna use a different brush, so I don't know. So I had mentioned earlier how I think this has a lot of, like, sort of political subtext. This film is disgusting, and it's super gross, and I can't in good faith recommend everyone to watch this, because I don't think everyone should subject themselves to this. But I love this movie. So it celebrates the cultural riches of heteronormative conformity and the grotesque reality of the modern American family. It makes explicit, implicit in some assumptions in the way that we treat each other, in the way that, like, frankly, capitalism operates in a way. I don't know. I feel like, especially, like, when you look at the way that, like, the media treats everything in this film. So, like, the press, like, at the court, at the trial. Yeah, as they're leaving, she just shot 2 people. They're like, thanks for the scoop. And another one's like, can always count on her for a story. Like, nobody is concerned that, like, 2 people were just executed. And everyone seems super chill and okay with it. Like, Connie and Raymond, they see, like, oh, you know, Divine is the filthiest person alive in various like newspapers and magazines and stuff, and that's what like drives them to do things. They want that infamy, right? I think that's very interesting. If you think I'm getting too cerebral with it, let me know in the comments. I think this movie is way more obscene than the hardcore pornography that I reviewed last time. 100%. There's just something about it that is just so... It's gross. And I kind of love it. And it's nasty and disgusting. Alright, well let's, I'm gonna think about this some more. Finish up the rest of my makeup and, check back with you before I put a look on, yeah? Alright y'all, so I just want to show you the lip stuff real fast. This is, what is it? NYX liner, suede liner, Club Hopper. Yeah. Can you see the thing? Close enough. And then this is Trixie Mattel's Stacy's Mom. It looks like this, yeah? Alright, let's do this. Alright, I'm gonna go put on a wig and an outfit and see how this looks. Oh, hey. Yeah, I did the best with what I had. Trying to go for like some sort of like bouffant situation. Woo, let's not push that around too much. Alright, well, so I'm gonna give this film 4 out of 5 dog turds, but with a heavy asterisk of may not be suitable for all viewers. I hope you enjoyed yourself. How do I look? Yeah? It's a lot. I'm kind of into it though. I kind of want to fuck me. Alright, anyway. Alright friends, thank you so much for being with me. Thank you so much for coming with me on this journey. I hope you enjoyed yourself. Yeah, and I suppose I'll leave you with these words of wisdom. Kill everyone now. Condone first-degree murder. Advocate cannibalism. Eat. Filth are my politics, and filth is my life. Bye.